You hold within you a secret that most people will never uncover. Not because it is hidden, not because they are unworthy, but because they are not yet prepared for it. There exists a transmission that permeates reality, just as water seeks its level. A teaching that reveals itself only when consciousness reaches the exact frequency necessary for its perception. This is not mysticism disguised as wisdom. This is how the universe actually functions. And right now, in this very moment, if you are listening to this, it means something within you has synchronized with the frequency that led you here. The ancient sages understood this principle. They did not create texts for the sake of information. They created them for activation. Every story, every tale, every outwardly simple parable in their legacy was not entertainment. It was a key. And this key turned only when the reader's inner mechanism had evolved into a shape matching its lock. What you are about to learn is not merely a collection of stories. It is a living technology of consciousness. A text that exists not in linear time, but in resonance. The fact that you are here and now is not an accident. It is cosmic recognition. Allow me to explain what is actually happening. The universe does not operate like a vending machine where you insert effort and receive a result. It operates like a radio, continuously broadcasting signals on different frequencies. What you receive depends entirely on the frequency to which your receiver is tuned. Most people spend their entire lives trying to force the universe to broadcast on their wavelength, unaware that all they need to do is adjust their own reception. You were taught that the pursuit of knowledge is an active process. That wisdom comes to those who seek hard enough, dig deep enough, venture far enough into the unknown. But here is what no one talks about. The greatest teachings do not come through effort. They come through alignment. Recall your life for a moment. Did texts not appear at the exact moment you needed them? Conversations that occurred precisely when your soul posed a question you had not even voiced aloud. Teachers who emerged exactly when you were ready to absorb what they had to offer. This is not luck. This is the fundamental operating system of reality. The universe is not a passive backdrop against which you act. It is an intelligent field that responds to your consciousness. When your awareness reaches a certain vibrational state, when you have gone through enough experiences, asked enough questions, released enough old beliefs, suddenly what you need appears. The ancient text we are exploring today calls itself a ritual of the universe. But here is what sets it apart from every other spiritual teaching you have encountered. It does not claim that it must be found. It claims that it finds you. Read that again. It does not wait to be discovered. It recognizes the moment when your consciousness has reached the threshold where its teachings can take root, and only then does it reveal itself. This is the first principle of cosmic law that most people completely miss. The treasures of existence are not withheld from you. They await the version of you capable of holding them. Readiness cannot be forced. Alignment cannot be faked. The universe reads the true frequency of your being, not the story you tell yourself about who you are. If this resonates with you, like it. This will help the transmission reach others who are ready. And subscribe to stay on this frequency. When your frequency matches what is available, reality rearranges itself to deliver exactly what you need. Something else is happening here that most spiritual teachings completely miss. They focus on what you need to do, what practices to master, what levels to attain. But the deepest teachings require nothing of you to do. They ask you to recognize what is already present, to see with new eyes what has always been nearby. Invisible only because you are not vibrating at the frequency where it becomes visible. Imagine it this way. Infrared light exists whether you see it or not. It radiates, it is present, but your eyes are not designed to perceive it. Does that mean it is unreal? No. It means your perception has not yet expanded to include it. The moment you put on infrared goggles, an entire dimension of reality opens before you that was always here. Consciousness works exactly the same way. Right now you are surrounded by dimensions of possibility. Possibilities, connections, insights, resources that are absolutely real, but completely invisible to your current frequency. Not because they are withheld, but because your awareness has not yet expanded to include them. And the moment that happens, reality does not change. Your perception of reality changes, and in practice that means everything changes. Allow me to take you somewhere else. Close your eyes for a moment. Really, close them. Imagine you are walking through an ancient market, not the kind shown in historical films, but one that exists in the space between thought and matter. There sits a merchant at a table covered with objects shimmering with unimaginable light, vessels woven from crystallized starlight, mirrors that reflect not your face but your potential, rings braided from the fabric of desires that never came to pass but always mattered. Her name in this story is Jessica Martinez, and she has a problem that defies all logic. She cannot sell anything, not because people do not want her treasures, they want them desperately, but every time someone tries to buy one of her items, the payment dissolves. Golden coins turn into dry leaves. Silver turns to vapor. Even precious gems crumble to dust the moment they touch her palm. For years, she considers herself a failure, the worst merchant in all of Damascus, cursed with goods that refuse to change hands. Until one evening everything changes. A traveler approaches, his eyes empty from searching, his hands empty from losses. He does not know what he is looking for. He only knows he has been searching for entire lifetimes. And when his gaze falls on a simple copper bowl that hundreds before him had tried to buy, something incredible happens. The bowl begins to hum, not with sound but with presence. It vibrates at a frequency only he can feel. And when he lifts it, every cell in his body recognizes what his mind does not yet understand. This object was waiting for him. No one else. Him, at this exact moment, after this exact path. When he offers payment, the coins remain solid in Jessica's hand. The bowl has found its intended owner. It is then that Jessica discovers the truth that changes everything. Her items never refuse to be sold. They refuse to be bought by those who were not ready for them. Every object was encoded with a specific signature of consciousness and materialized, became real in the full sense, only when a person appeared whose awareness matched that signature. You see, the universe does not operate on an economy of scarcity. It operates on the physics of resonance. What you seek is also seeking you. But it seeks not the version of you that you pretend to be. It seeks the version you are becoming, the one that has gone through enough experiences, transformed enough, opened enough to hold what is about to be given. This is what it means in practice. Every text that changed your life, every teaching that revealed you, every connection that transformed you, none of it was random. These were cosmic encounters. Your consciousness sent a signal, and reality responded with exactly what you needed, exactly when you could receive it. The question is not whether the universe is abundant. The question is whether you are tuned to the frequency where that abundance can find you. And this is where most get stuck. They think tuning themselves means working harder, meditating longer, affirming louder. But tuning is not about adding. It is about subtracting. It is about removing interference, beliefs, fears, stories of unworthiness that block the signal already trying to reach you. Jessica's market exists in your life right now. Every day you walk past treasures waiting for you to become ready for them. Connections capable of transforming you, opportunities capable of elevating you, insights capable of liberating you. They are here, present, real. But you do not see them because your consciousness does not yet match their frequency. The question is, how to raise your frequency? How to become the person who sees what is invisible to the current version of you. Not through force, through presence. Not through striving, through peace. Not through seeking more, through releasing what prevents you from receiving what already exists. Stop here, right now. Do not skip this part. What I am about to share is not just information. It is an activation, and if you allow it, it will change the way reality delivers gifts to you from this moment forward. Tonight, before sleep, Sit in a quiet place, not for meditation in the traditional sense, not to clear the mind or achieve a perfect state of calm, just to remember. Scroll through the memory of the last month, the last year, the last decade of your life, and identify 3 things, 3 moments, 3 encounters that appeared at the exact moment you needed them. Not a day earlier, when you would not have understood. Not a day later when the window would have closed, but exactly when your soul was ready to receive. Perhaps it was a text someone casually mentioned, and upon reading it, answered a question you silently asked. Perhaps it was a breakdown that forced a breakthrough you had been avoiding. Perhaps it was a stranger who said 7 words that rewrote your understanding of yourself. As you recall each of these events, speak this truth aloud. I acknowledge the perfect timing of all gifts. I trust the wisdom guiding their arrival. I am ready to receive what is seeking me now. This is not an affirmation for feel-good purposes. This is a quantum acknowledgement. You are telling the field of consciousness, I see you. I recognize the intelligence orchestrating my life, and I open myself to receiving what is already on its way. When you practice this regularly, something remarkable begins. The universe responds to your awareness. Opportunities that would have passed by suddenly slow down so you notice them. Teachers who would have walked past stop and turn around. Texts that would have stayed on the shelf practically fall into your hands. Why? Because you have become energetically visible to what is seeking you. The gateway of gratitude is not just about gratitude. It is about tuning consciousness to the frequency where synchronicity becomes your default reality. Try it tonight and write in the comments. Do not just read and leave. Write the exact phrase, I am ready to receive what is seeking me. Let this be your signal to the field, your declaration that you no longer live in the consciousness of seeking, but in the consciousness of receiving. When you complete this practice tonight, you will notice something subtle but profound. You will begin to see patterns you missed, synchronicities that were always there but invisible to your previous state of awareness. It is not that the universe suddenly started working for you. You finally started working with the universe. There is a second layer to this practice that deepens everything. After acknowledging the 3 gifts, sit with the question, what beliefs about myself, about life, about reality, did I hold right before each gift appeared? Because you will discover, every treasure arrived not randomly but at the exact moment your consciousness shifted from one frequency to another. From doubt to openness, from resistance to surrender, from seeking to allowing. This shift created an opening, and when you recognize this pattern, you gain the ability to create openings intentionally. You stop waiting for life to force you into readiness and start choosing readiness as your default state. Now allow me to take you somewhere else. A place that will show why effort in the traditional sense may be what prevents what you desire from arriving. And it contains a principle most people resist their entire lives. In the volcanic valleys where the molten core of the earth comes close to the surface, there lived a master blacksmith named Brandon Rodriguez. His forge sang with a sound that, travelers said, they heard in their dreams for days after leaving the valley. But Brandon had a secret frustration. For decades he had mastered the art of bending metal to his will. With hammer, force, precision. He was known across kingdoms for his ability to make iron obey his vision. Until one morning his hammer shattered against a piece of metal that simply would not yield. He tried everything. More heat, different angles, more powerful tools. Nothing worked. The metal completely refused him. Exhausted and bewildered, he collapsed by the cooling forge that night. And in the space between waking and sleep, something happened. He heard the metal speak, not in words, but in feeling, in knowing. Your force creates resistance. Your surrender opens my truth. I am not meant for conquest. I am meant to flow into form. When Brandon awoke, everything changed. He approached the same stubborn piece of iron. But now instead of forcing, he listened. He felt the metal's natural desire to transform. He moved in rhythm with it, not against it. And when he did, when he stopped dominating and started partnering with the material, miracles emerged. alloys lighter than a feather but stronger than diamond, blades that cut not flesh, but illusion, shields that reflected fear, not arrows. Rumors spread. A warrior prince crossed deserts demanding Brandon's secret. "I have no secret," said Brandon, holding a glowing ingot as gently as a sleeping child. "I simply listen to what wants to become and help it arrive. Let this settle. How much of your life have you spent trying to force outcomes, pushing against resistance, fighting to make things happen through sheer will and effort? And how often has that forcing created the very obstacles you were trying to overcome? Here is the truth that rewrites everything. Creation does not respond to domination. It responds to harmony. When you stop fighting the flow of the universe and start flowing with it, you become a channel for power unavailable through effort. Your desires manifest not because you conquered them into existence. They manifest because you aligned with the natural unfolding of what was already trying to emerge. This is where most get stuck. They think manifestation is mental discipline, visualization persistent enough, affirmations loud enough, belief strong enough. But true manifestation that creates lasting transformation is not about force. It is about resonance. The universe is not waiting for you to prove your worthiness through struggle. It is waiting for you to soften enough to receive what is already yours. This is the secret every master craftsman, every true artist, every person who created something truly extraordinary has discovered. Excellence cannot be forced. Conditions can only be created in which it naturally arises. Beauty cannot be dominated into existence. It can only be aligned with so fully that it flows through you without obstruction. Brandon's transformation was not in learning a new technique. It was in unlearning an old belief. The belief that control equals power. He discovered that true power comes from partnership, from recognizing that you are not separate from the forces you are trying to shape, but part of a single field. And when you honor that unity, when you work with the intelligence already present in the material, in the moment, in the situation, miracles become the norm. This applies to everything in your life: relationships, career, creative projects, spiritual path. Whenever you force, you create resistance. Whenever you flow, you create possibility. But here is what is subtle about this. Flow does not mean passivity. It does not mean stopping action or decision-making. It means your actions and decisions arise from attunement, not anxiety, from presence, not pressure, from trust, not terror. You feel the difference in the body when you force, jaw clenched, breath shallow, shoulders tense. When you flow, there is effort, sometimes immense, but it is light. It does not deplete. It enlivens. Here is how to embody this principle right now. Stop reading for a moment. Sit up straight. Place your hands on your knees, palms up. This is not symbolic. It is energetic. You are physically opening to receive instead of closing in effort. Now breathe, but not ordinary breathing. Conscious breathing. With each exhale, release one layer of control. Inhale slowly, silently. I am the universe flowing freely. Exhale fully. Let tension leave the shoulders, jaw, hands. Really feel it leave. Inhale again. I am divine will in motion. Exhale. Release resistance from the mind, the tight grip on outcomes, the fear that if you do not force, nothing will happen. Inhale. I am perfect cosmic timing. Exhale. Surrender the need to control when and how your life unfolds. Continue for at least 2 minutes, perhaps longer, until you feel a shift inside. Until it becomes easier, more open, like molten metal ready to flow into any form life has prepared. This is not passivity. This is the most powerful stance. Because when you stop blocking the universe with effort, you allow it to move through you with impeccable precision. Write in the comments. In what area of life have you been forcing instead of flowing? What would it look like to release that struggle and trust the process? Your reflection may be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Brandon's forge still exists, not in physical space, but in the realm of principle. And every time you choose flow over force, harmony over struggle, you stand at that forge, allowing reality to shape you into something more magnificent than you could design yourself. Allow me to share something that may challenge everything you believe about how life works. You think you are late. You think you missed opportunities. You think, if only you had learned this teaching 5 years ago, 10 years ago, everything would be different now. But here is what changes everything. You are exactly on time. The reason you are hearing this now, not last year, not next month, but now, is that this is the exact moment your consciousness can integrate what is being transmitted. If you had encountered this teaching earlier, you would have understood it intellectually, but not embodied it. The experiences you lived through, the pain you endured, the confusion you navigated, all of it was preparing the soil of your awareness for these seeds to take root. The universe does not err in timing. Recall the stories we explored. Jessica's impossible market did not operate on customer demand. It operated on customer readiness. The copper bowl existed long before the traveler arrived, but became real, activated its potential only when his consciousness matched its frequency. The same with you right now. This teaching has existed in various forms for millennia, but it appears in your life now because now you can do something with it. Now your soul has evolved enough to not just hear these words, but allow them to restructure your reality. In quantum physics, there is the concept of the observer effect. It states that the act of observation changes what is observed. Particles exist in superposition, all possible states simultaneously, until observed, and then collapse into one specific reality. Your consciousness works the same way. The teachings you are ready for collapse into your reality the moment you can observe them at the deepest level. Not superficial understanding, not intellectual agreement, but embodied recognition. You have been walking toward this moment your entire life. Every text that did not fully satisfy pointed here. Every teacher who helped but did not complete the journey prepared you for this. Every moment of confusion, every dark night of the soul, every time you almost gave up but did not, all of it was a navigation system leading to this exact frequency. So no, you are not late. You are not behind. You missed nothing. You are on time. And the excitement you feel hearing this is not emotion. It is recognition. Your soul remembering what it always knew, but forgot while passing through a world that taught you to doubt cosmic intelligence. Now what we are exploring today is the principle of recognition. Understanding that readiness opens what is already present, but this is only one frequency in a much larger spectrum. If you feel there is more beneath this, you are right. I want to go deeper because this is one of the most healing realizations. When you truly understand that you are not behind, did not miss the window, that the universe did not forget you, a fundamental shift occurs in how you move through life. You stop rushing. You stop forcing. You stop living in anxiety. I should have done it earlier, or suddenly it is too late. Instead, you begin to trust the unfolding. You begin to recognize that every delay was preparation. Every detour was protection. Every moment of waiting was ripening. Think of a fruit. An apple does not ripen faster from your impatience. It ripens according to laws you do not control. Sun, temperature, time. Pick it too early, sour. Wait too long, rotten. But pick it at the exact moment, perfect. Your life works the same way. There are teachings you can only absorb at certain stages of development. Opportunities you recognize only when awareness has expanded enough. Connections you can hold only when consciousness has matured to carry them. This does not mean sitting idly waiting for the universe to deliver. It means staying active, engaged, present, but from trust, not desperation. Acting because you are inspired, not because you fear being left behind. And here is what is magical about this shift. When you stop racing ahead of your own readiness, when you begin to trust your timing, opportunities appear that were previously completely invisible. Not because they were not there, but because you were not there. Your consciousness was not at the frequency where they could register. Now, let us talk about what most spiritual teachers will not say because it undermines their business model. Before I continue, I want to hear from you. Write in the comments one moment in life when something appeared at perfect timing. When the universe's timing was undeniable. When you share these stories, You are not just reflecting, you are activating the same recognition for others and reinforcing the pattern in your own field. Most spiritual paths command you to seek, to search, to travel far in pursuit of truth. And there is value in that. Movement creates momentum. Questions open doors. Exploration expands awareness. But seeking has a shadow side no one talks about. When you are constantly seeking the next teaching, the next breakthrough, the next level of consciousness, you are operating from a frequency of lack. You are telling the universe, what I have is not enough. Where I am is not enough. Who I am is not enough. And the universe, being a perfect mirror, responds by giving you more to seek. The cosmic market does not open its deepest treasures to the desperately seeking. It opens to those who have become calm enough to receive. This is the paradox at the heart of all transformation. You will not find what you seek by seeking. You will find by becoming the person who no longer needs to seek because they have recognized that everything sought is already within. Jessica's items did not open to seekers arriving with demands, grip, attempts to acquire. They opened to those who had sought long enough to finally stop seeking, who had traveled far enough to understand that the path was always internal. The traveler who received the copper bowl ended his search not because he found the object, but because his consciousness had evolved from the frequency of seeking to the frequency of recognition. Do you feel the difference? Seeking is external. Recognition is internal. Seeking says, I need what I do not have. Recognition says, I am ready to see what is already here. This does not mean stopping growth. It does not mean stopping learning. It means shifting from the energy of chasing to the energy of unveiling, from the vibration of lack to the vibration of readiness. And this shift, subtle but profound recalibration of your energetic stance, changes everything. In the Zen tradition, there is a teaching that conveys this perfectly. A student approaches the master and asks, "How long must I practice to attain enlightenment?" The master replies, 10 years. The student, full of zeal and ambition, says, "And if I work twice as hard?" The master replies, "Then 20 years. See what is revealed? The harder you seek, the further you push what you seek away. Because the seeking itself creates separation. It reinforces the belief that what is desired is somewhere else, sometime else, someone else. But recognition dissolves separation. It reveals that what is sought was never absent. You were simply looking past it, through it, beyond it, convinced that truth must be more complex, further, harder to access than it is. This is the great cosmic joke. The treasure you sought across continents and decades was all along in your own backyard. Not metaphorically, literally. It was in your awareness, your presence, your simple ability to see what is, not what you think should be. And the moment you stop seeking and start seeing, everything you need begins to unfold, not because it finally arrives, but because you finally arrived at the consciousness capable of receiving it. Allow me to show what is truly encoded in these ancient stories. When the text speaks of merchants and blacksmiths, describes impossible objects and mystical transformations, it is not asking you to believe in magic. It is asking you to recognize the magic already operating in your life, invisible only because you were taught not to see it. Every person you met was either a teacher or a student, often both at once. Every challenge you faced was either a prison or a classroom, depending on how you chose to perceive it. Every moment of your existence was a cosmic transaction where the universe offered you exactly what you needed for evolution, and you either accepted or refused, depending on your level of readiness. The market is not somewhere else. It is here. It is now. It is the field of possibility surrounding you in every moment. And you are both Jessica and the traveler. You are both the merchant with impossible goods and the seeker finally ready to receive. Part of you holds treasures you do not yet know how to access. Gifts waiting for the rest of you to catch up. Potential dormant, not because it is inaccessible, but because you have not yet become the consciousness capable of activating it. And another part of you is walking the market right now, eyes opening to what was always available, hands finally empty enough to receive rather than grasp. This is the teaching beneath the teaching. You are not separate from the universe dispensing wisdom. You are the universe in human form, remembering itself through your experiences, awakening itself through your awareness. The text that appears when you are ready is not out there. It is here, written in the language of your own becoming. And every time you choose awareness over unconsciousness, presence over distraction, surrender over force, you read another page. Why most never access what is available. Let us be uncomfortably honest for a moment. Most will watch this video and feel inspired. They will nod, perhaps even tear up, feel something deep stirring inside, then click away, return to the familiar, and in days forget this ever happened. Why? Because receiving requires more than interest. It requires integration. And integration requires actually changing, not just intellectually agreeing with the idea of change, but rewiring daily habits, automatic reactions, unconscious patterns. The universe is infinitely abundant. It offers you everything always, but you can only receive what your current identity is capable of holding. If your identity is built around struggle, you will unconsciously reject ease when it appears. If around unworthiness, you will sabotage gifts before fully accepting them. If around seeking, you will walk past what is right in front of you, convinced the real treasure is somewhere else. This is why the teaching emphasizes readiness over effort. Readiness cannot be forced. It cannot be faked. Your nervous system knows the truth. Your energetic field broadcasts your real state, not the desired one. And the universe responds to what you are, not what you pretend to be. So, how to become ready? Not by adding more practices, knowledge, spiritual credentials. By releasing what blocks readiness. By identifying the beliefs, stories, identities keeping you at a frequency where the deepest gifts cannot reach. For some, it is the belief that love, success, wisdom must be earned through suffering. For others, a story that you are fundamentally broken and need fixing. For others, an identity of being behind, late, insufficient. These are not just thoughts. They are energetic barriers, and until you dismantle them, you will keep encountering the same lessons in different forms, wondering why the universe is not delivering what you asked for. It is delivering. You are simply not receiving. The practice of active receiving. Right now, do something that may seem strange. Say aloud, I am ready. No qualifiers. No adding. I am ready for love, or abundance, or when the time comes. Just, I am ready. Feel what happens in the body when you say it. Notice if there is resistance. Notice if the mind immediately jumps with reasons why you are not actually ready. Notice if fear, doubt, a sense of unworthiness arises. This noticing, this awareness of what blocks readiness, is the first step to clearing it. Now say it again, but this time as you speak the words, consciously release one thing that has kept you in unreadiness. Perhaps a grudge you held. Perhaps a failure you replayed. Perhaps a version of yourself you tried to force into existence instead of allowing it to emerge. I am ready. Release. I am ready. Release. Continue until you feel a shift. Until the words stop sounding like a lie and start sounding like recognition. As if your soul has been waiting for your mind to catch up, and now they finally meet in the same moment. This is active receiving, not passive hope that the universe will drop something in your lap, but actively creating the internal conditions where what is seeking you can finally land. And here is what you need to understand. The moment you truly embody this frequency, reality restructures around you. Not someday, immediately. Opportunities appear. Conversations change. People resonating with the new vibration enter your field. Circumstances align in ways that would seem impossible from the previous state of consciousness. Why? Because you stopped broadcasting lack and started broadcasting readiness. And the universe responds to your broadcast with perfect precision, the collective field of readiness. Right now, write in the comments one word. Just one, capturing the energy you choose to embody from now on. Not what you hope to feel, not what sounds spiritual, but the real energetic signature you are claiming. Perhaps ready, perhaps open, perhaps aligned, receiving, present. Whatever word arises, it is your declaration to the quantum field, a signal that you are no longer the person who started watching this video. You have shifted. And this shift, seemingly small, is seismic at the level of consciousness. This is why it matters more than you think. When you make a public declaration, invest energy and intention, name it in community, you are speaking not just to yourself, you are speaking to the collective field. And the collective field holds you accountable in ways personal thoughts never can. Hundreds, perhaps thousands of people are watching this right now, each at their own stage of readiness, each with their own frequency. But when you all together make a declaration, when everyone drops a word in the comments, signaling a new energetic stance, you create a collective resonance. And that resonance amplifies what is possible for everyone in it. This is how movements begin. Not with leaders dictating to followers, but with groups of individuals simultaneously choosing a new frequency and supporting each other and sustaining it. So do not skip this. Do not watch passively. Drop your word. Make the declaration. Join the field of those who no longer seek because they have recognized readiness to receive. And if what you heard today touches something deep within you, if you feel resonance beyond intellectual agreement, I invite you to subscribe not just to this channel, but to this frequency, this space where consciousness meets practical transformation, this community of people awakening together, supporting each other in maintaining integrity, alignment, elevation. Because here is the final truth. The more of us who embody this, the more the world reflects this truth back. We are no longer individual seekers. We are a collective force, and every person who shifts from seeking to receiving, from force to flow, from lack to readiness, makes it easier for the next. This is how reality changes. One consciousness at a time, one declaration at a time, one moment of readiness at a time. The text that was always yours. So let us return to the beginning. The text that appears only when the universe knows you are ready. You are already reading it. It is not a physical object on a mystical shelf. It is the living text of your own awakening. Every experience lived, a chapter. Every person met, a character revealing something about you. Every challenge, a plot twist deepening understanding. Every breakthrough, a revelation showing what you were always capable of. You are both the reader and the story, the seeker and the treasure, the question and the answer, the readiness you were waiting for. This is not something that happens to you. It is something you choose again and again in small and large moments. Every time you release control and trust the flow. Every time you recognize perfect timing instead of resisting delay. Every time you shift from seeking to receiving. This is readiness. Not a destination, but a frequency you tune to. And you have been tuning to it your entire life, even in moments when you thought you were lost. Especially in those moments, because sometimes the greatest readiness is born from the deepest confusion. The ancient teachers knew this. That is why their stories always include darkness before light, confusion before clarity. The hero's descent into the underworld before returning with the treasure. Because readiness is not cultivated in comfort. It is forged in challenge. Not by the challenge itself, but by how you meet it. Every difficulty, an invitation to deepen trust. Every loss, an opportunity to open to what cannot be lost. Every moment of not knowing, a portal to knowing that surpasses intellectual understanding. And if you are honest with yourself, you will acknowledge that the greatest breakthroughs came not when everything was easy. They came when you were at the edge of your capacity, forced to either collapse or expand. And you expanded. Not because you were special, chosen, or spiritually advanced, but because, faced with the choice, some part of you, the deepest, truest, chose growth over safety. That part is activating right now. Not the part that wants comfort. Not the part that wants guarantees, but the part that wants truth more than ease. The part ready to transform, even if transformation is uncomfortable. This is what true readiness feels like. Not peaceful bliss, but alive readiness. Recognition that you would rather evolve through discomfort than stagnate in comfort. So here is my final invitation. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for an external authority to say that now, finally, you are ready. You are ready now. You always were ready. You just needed to remember that the market is open, the forge is blazing, the copper bowl is humming with recognition, and the universe is watching not to judge but to witness the moment you stop seeking and start receiving. Everything you ever wanted is waiting for you to become the person who no longer needs to want it. Let this be your new frequency. Let this be your declaration. Let this be the truth you carry from this moment. You are ready. The universe knows it, and now you know it. This moment here is a threshold, not between who you were and who you will become, but between the version of you doubting readiness and the version embodying it. Both exist simultaneously. Both are available right now. The only question is which one you will feed with attention, energy, belief. Because here is the final truth no one says. The universe is not testing your readiness to prove worthiness. It is responding to your readiness because that is how the system works. Consciousness recognizes consciousness. Frequency attracts frequency. And the moment you stop pretending to be ready and start being, everything you have been preparing for begins to flow to you, not in the distant future. Now, in the choices you make today, in how you show up for yourself tonight, in the lens through which you interpret tomorrow's challenges and opportunities, the text has appeared. The teaching has found you. The cosmic market has opened its doors, and you stand at the threshold with everything you need to enter. One question remains. Will you enter? Will you choose the frequency of readiness over the comfort of familiar limitations? Do you trust that what is seeking you is worth releasing the clinging identity? Will you allow yourself to be transformed by the very teaching you asked for? If the answer is yes, and I feel it is yes, otherwise you would not still be here, then your entire life is about to reflect that yes in ways that will leave you breathless. Not because the universe rewards faith, but because the universe is you. And when you shift, it shifts. When you open, it opens. When you say yes to readiness, reality says yes to possibility. This is the teaching beneath all teachings. The secret hidden in plain sight. The treasure never lost, only waiting for you to recognize it. You are ready. You always were ready. And everything that happens from this moment will prove this truth again and again, subtly and extraordinarily. Welcome home. Now, if you truly understood what readiness means, you need to understand what happens next, because a collapse is coming, and it is not what you think. The moment you step into this new frequency, your old identity begins to disintegrate, not as punishment, but as necessity. New consciousness cannot be held in old containers. That is why the video was created. The moment you watch it, your old self will begin to collapse. It will show exactly how to navigate this transition, what to expect when old structures crumble, and how to stay grounded while becoming something entirely new. Watch it next.